Cliff, first of all, just your reflections on the game at the weekend and how you've broken that one down with the players, the FA Cup tie against Accrington.
Yeah, we went through it this morning, and obviously, post game and today there's a hell of a lot of good things about the game, about the performance and how we went about it. Plenty of chances created in the first half. We feel we should have maybe capitalised more than what we did, but we were really pleased with how we went about the business. Yes, second half it's a bit to and fro, and then when Accrington come out, they're a very good team that have been on an excellent run of form within the league, so we knew that would be the case, and yet we still created more chances again in the second half. So yeah, there's an element there where we feel that we should have capitalised, but we're still in the half for the next round.
In terms of what you did with the ball in that first half, how does that rank through this season up there with one of the best performances?
Yeah, listen, some fans have said that, and some people that come watch the game, we have the pleasure of working with this group day in, day out, and we know what they're capable of, and there's moments and the spells in games where a lot of things came off for us on Saturday, and that's full credit to the boys and following the plan that the manager's been working on in the midweek. So yes, their keeper had an exceptional day, made plenty of saves, but we look at ourselves first, and we definitely feel we should have had maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 goals in the first half.
I'm sure a few eyebrows were raised at the potential what could come in the second round, particularly with one of your former clubs, but I expect you said there's an awful lot of ground to cover before then.
Yeah, you've answered the question for yourself, Liam. We got to focus. We got a big important game coming up this weekend, and then we can focus on the replay the following week, and we're not looking any further than beyond that.
First up is the game in the newly named Bristol Street Motors Trophy against Burton Albion, the last group game. Obviously an opportunity to go through and progress in this competition.
Yeah, there is. We've identified, we want to try and progress out of this group, and we need to be at the top of our performance levels tomorrow evening and look to get the win to get ourselves 6 points in the group.
Didn't get the result in the previous game against Mansfield, but another good performance that night.
Yes, it was. It was again full of chances in the opening stages of the game. So, we'll go about our business. It's going to be, it's going to be a challenging game. Burton in a good run of form. We believe we have the capabilities and the personality to go out and perform, and when you perform, hopefully you come out on the right side of the result.
A few players nearing returns or making the first sort of tentative steps. I would like to see any of those in action on Tuesday night, like James Maxwell, Richard Wood and players like that.
Yeah, listen, there's possibilities. You've seen players come back in around the squad, and there's players out on the grass that hadn't been in the previous squad. So it's gives you real food for thought as the manager and the management staff, getting players back involved and getting them up to speed. So yeah, there could be some more personnel returning this week.
How much of a boost is it to start having more and more players back and sort of bolstering the bench and all things like that?
Yeah, listen, it's an all-round factor. It's you get the boys that have been in the injury room for a while, and they give themselves a new lease of life, because nobody wants to be in there. They want to be out on the grass competing for a position every match day, and the boys that have been getting integrated back into training have brought that freshness and that appetite, and it rubs off on everyone else, because first and foremost the competition goes up, and when the competition goes up, performance levels have to increase, improve and maintain to put yourself in with a chance of being selected in the 11. So bears fruit all the way around, and we're really pleased to have them back.
Do you think that's been at the forefront of a lot of players' minds? There have been players that have had to play an awful lot of football, because there's not been as available. But do you think that competition's always been there, them knowing my performance levels have to stay high, otherwise somebody, when they are ready to return, they're going to come in and take my place? Yeah,
I believe so. And even with the personnel that have maybe been in the treatment room for longer spells, it's right from the top that the manager demands certain standards, and even if you're looking over your shoulder and you feel, there's not loads of competition, well, it still doesn't guarantee you to stay in that team. You have to be performing, and you have to be at the levels that the manager expects you to be at. And credit to the boys, they have been, more often than not, they have been this season. And when we haven't quite got to the levels, it's not for the lack of appetite. Sometimes you can just come undone in games and not being at the levels of performance that you would wish to be. But this group works tirelessly, Monday to Friday. on the game plan that we look to implement come Saturdays.
One other pleasing aspect about the previous game in this competition against Mansfield was the performance of the young lads, certainly taking their opportunity for match minutes.
Yeah, there was boys that stepped in, you know, you had young Jack Goodman, Tav was in there, Will Flint was in there, to name a few. You know, don't want to miss anyone out. But again, it's an expectation from the staff, and those players get them minutes because they've warranted them, they've worked hard, they've showed signs on the training ground of what they're capable of, and you know, you want them to go out there and flourish, and I felt they'd done themselves real good justice on the night, albeit we didn't come away with the result that we wanted.
You've had to call along a lot of the under-18s lads in terms of bolstering numbers in for training and things like that, but certainly not just making up the numbers with lots of performances that they're putting in.
No, definitely not. And it's something that I personally, when I speak to the under-18s about it, it's, you know, you're not coming across to train with the first team for the sake of training. You have to come across with that mentality that whose place can I take? What position is it that I want to go in here and show what I'm capable of doing? And that's the mindset you need to come in with. As the players do that are in the current squad, you've got to have your eye on a starting place come Saturday. And if you can't get a starting place, you're on the bench. And I'm going to be in that group of 5 substitutions possibly that can be introduced to the game. So we want to keep the hunger, and you know, the younger boys that have come in and what the academy's doing with the boys, developing them along, to give them that opportunity to get in and train with us first and foremost, and then to go and push them for that next spot to get into the first team.
What are you expecting from Burton as a test?
Yeah, I think it'll be a strong test. I think it'll be a real strong and stiff test. They're going really well in the league that they're in at the moment, and the form is quite good. But you know, we've got to focus on what we want to do and how we see the opportunities coming our way within the game. But make no means about it, it will be a difficult game.
Regardless of the competition, the opposition, determination just to keep momentum going.
It is, yeah. You know, you want to come in every day to the training ground, work hard on your game, work hard on the aspects that you want to improve on, and then hopefully get the opportunity to go and put that in the game. And we'll be looking to put together a performance tomorrow evening that will give us a result of 3 points.